If you're disabled or Ptsstabled and you're in the land of the free, not the fair, because we don't bloody share, and you can't afford a medium rare at the pub or any decent grub, and you can't afford a drink, not even a soda stinks, so you give a wink to some old bat with a witch's hat who'll cook up a batch of rat, a tui, with a cup of ribena instead of a colada pina. Just be happy to be alive, for you won't bloody thrive if you can't even afford your rego or even a bloody van, and you go see old Dan who owes you 28 grand and ask for a car, and even an ex-star won't mean a thing until they ding-a-ling rings, which ain't be happening, so it must be time for some more wine. A flagon from the past will give you a nice rasp for $20, no more. And even if you're a bore and bludge of smoke from all the blokes until they're yoke in the face with egg on your face, 'cause you can't afford to smoke tobacco, but can only afford the wacky mobacco, what sort of world really is it we live in that a man can afford drugs but not a cigarette, and must buy second-hand food that cannot be sold in the shop, but only to a mug with no grub in his cubs? At a bloody food depot for all the dicky dellos from all the pubs who spent all their food money on mugs instead of drunk with the heroin monks. I say that this must be the land of we don't give a shit, especially if we're rich and can pay our taxes to the gov for our Benson and Hedges everyday grudge. Those classic red, and even give a fair few to old Ted. We all think about it lying in bed, dreaming of a way to have a decent life, even without a wife, for we go without more often than not, and cannot afford to even buy new clothes, not even second-hand clothes, at the old op shop, because it's now a top shop for Richie Rich, a vintage clothes shop for designer brands, with any old clothes being turfed for being no-name smurfs. Raggle-taggle, curf and go to Kmart, they say, and waste a day away trying to find a shirt that fits your girth. You'd have more of a fat chance moving to Perth. But hey, it's no one's fault that the cost of living is so hell-bent you can't even afford to rent. 114,000 New South Wales battlers sleep at rough amongst the gruff. Every day I give thanks for the life I have in my own home, with those I love, and always I wonder how it can be that a country so fine as ours can wine and dine, whilst the rest, who are the best of us, suffer and pine for the most basic things, especially when no one ever rings. So it must be an attack on those who cannot defend themselves, or nasty little elves, for it could not be from someone with a heart. You better quit quick smart from caring in the land of no sharing, for is it the land of the free or the fair? I don't bloody care. So just remember when you're sitting in your chair, eating an old mare or two. So few of us eat at a restaurant maybe once a year. Don't let it bring you to tears. Savour up every bit of that old horse with no remorse. Go on as if you were Inspector Morse. And you've done your bit for society, you pay your taxes, it's not your fault, others are locked in a vault. And remember, when you're with your wife, she loves you 'cause you're no strife and can pay with constrife. Not like the bloke down at the old mill, wanted by the old bill, who makes a pittance of your smittens and eats his potato pie with delight and loves his wife all through the night, and shares a cuppa with any old nutter to keep his spirits high and dry, for even he cannot afford a lifestyle so deserving, and so he is reserving anything he can, for he be that man headed for the can, eating chicken sausages out of his frying pan, waiting for the day they will take him away, and he be a better man than you or I, for he ain't shy, and when he says something he means it, and does what he says, for he be more bold than the Prime Minister of old, and will share his bread even on deathbed with any old nutter who has no butter. But hey, who cares? For we don't bloody share.